Hey, I'm Laura Lynn, and welcome to the first series of ILA Institute. You may be familiar with ILA Radio, where I have guests on and we talk about intuition and reason and nature and AI, and really just getting down to how do we know what we know. Well, now on this new series that I have called ILA Institute, you're kind of going to see like how school could be. And one thing about me is I used to be a teacher. I was a teacher for about 6 years. I taught every grade from kindergarten to eighth grade, every single subject. I was also a sub for a couple of years, where I kind of loved it because I didn't know where I was going to be, and I got to teach every subject under the sun. I am a polymath, I am a polyglot. The way that I define polymathy in the dissertation is contributing to the four disciplines. So that is the natural sciences, the social sciences, the humanities, and the arts. And so I've done that. I'm also a polyglot, which means that I can speak multiple languages or read and understand. So right now, or actually can hold a conversation, obviously English as you're hearing me speak, but also French and Spanish. And I'm currently learning Portuguese, Italian, Japanese, Mandarin, and Hawaiian. I always forget Hawaiian, but I am a hula dancer, professional hula dancer. So that's part of like contributing to the arts. And all of our chants, our olis, are in Hawaiian, and so it's really important for me to learn the language so that when I sing these chants, it's coming from inside. Like I actually know what I'm saying. I'm not just repeating what I'm being taught by my kumu. So that's where that's coming from. So anyway, enough about me. Back to why we're here. Just to go to different places and really see like how learning can happen naturally. How I'm really a big proponent of organic learning, and I want us to like think back to like when we were kids. How did you learn a language? How did you learn what you know? And how do you know what you know? It comes from experience, not from a textbook. And that's really what I'm getting at here with ILA Institute. So, what does ILA stand for? It stands for Intuition Led Academia, which really just means that we learn best when we follow our curiosity, not when a teacher is telling you to learn this, and if you don't learn it, then your whole life's gonna be bad if you don't learn this one thing for this one test. That's so dumb. Or I'll have to cram and do all those things for a test that I'm gonna forget 10 seconds later. That's so dumb. That's such a waste of time and such a waste of energy and so much stress that we put on our students to learn these things that honestly do not matter. The things that matter are the things that actually interest you, that actually light you up and make you excited. And that is how you build a career. That is how you get to the next level. One of my main things in my dissertation was, or like the reason why I even started the dissertation was, or like my main question for starting the dissertation was, what is the purpose of education? Before we're told, oh, we have to go to school because that's how you get a good job. That's so dumb. I hate when people say that. That the only reason why you're getting these degrees or the only reason why you're in school or you didn't drop out in high school was to get a good job. No, doesn't matter. You could have a master's and still not get a good job, or you could not have any schooling and still get a job that someone with a master's or a college degree gets. And that's like from real life experience. My husband was the supervisor for a bunch of college grads and people who had masters. There were a bunch of people that were under him, and he never went post high school. So, yeah, the whole education system is completely ruined. So I'm here to save it. And yeah, so that's what I'm here for. So let me tell you a little bit more about this series before we actually jump in. So this series is all about learning outside of school through museums, libraries, nature, all the places you don't usually think of as a classroom, but actually really are. Today, we're just going to be focusing on museums, but like future episodes, we'll only focus on libraries or we'll only focus on parks or nature walks. I don't know. But for this first one, it's just going to be museums. So we're going to be covering three different museums, and they're all in LA. I live in LA, and so I love to drive. Like people in LA are always like, "Oh, the traffic sucks." Like, then don't sit in traffic. Take the streets. Honestly, it takes me like 10 minutes more to take the streets, but now I got to see all these different like neighborhoods and I got to learn the streets of LA and really understand the geography and the people and yeah, there's like the different parts. I feel like LA is so divided and I'm here to unify it. But that's like a whole other thing, and you can learn more about my whole journey with unifying everything on Grounded Spirits. So I do like a day, and I mean, not a day, I do a whole week in my life, every single episode. And it's not just one of those like vlogs where it's like, this is what I did, and it's like you don't get anything out of it. Every single episode of Grounded Spirits is a how to. So, like the latest one just came out was How to Heal in a Broken World. And I take you through my week, and every day I learned something that contributed to how to heal in a broken world. So that's what Grounded Spirits is about. But on here on ILA Institute, we're going to take three museums that I've already visited and talk about what I learned from them and how to move forward with them. And also kind of just allowing like whatever comes up to come up and then picking one thing from each museum and we'll go into it, like I have like the three examples and everything already ready for you. um so like as I show you these different things, then like you can see like what interested you. And then if you live in LA, then you can go to the same museums that I did. I'll give you all the information on how to get there and how much it costs and all that kind of stuff. And if you're not in LA, then you can go to your local museum and see what pops out for you and go dive deeper into whatever subject you're interested in. I think that's like what the beauty of it all is. And that's why I was saying earlier that I'm a polymath. Like, I think that everybody is a polymath. It's just a matter of finding what interests you. So, for instance, let's just use phone for instance, okay? So, you love being on your phone. You're on your phone 24/7. All right, cool. Let's use a research question. What's the social impact of using a phone? What art can I create on this phone? What else is there? The natural sciences. So, what engineering was needed to create this phone? Like to really understand, because I don't understand it, I don't know. My phone works, and that's all that matters for me. That's not what I'm interested in, but you might be. Well, it's just an example, but it could be for anything. Um, yeah, so you can get like all four of those disciplines that I was talking about earlier in any subject. So when you go to a museum, whatever pops out at you, dive a little deeper and you'll see that it all comes out. So, yeah. Okay, so let me tell you about the three museums. So the first museum is the Pasadena History Museum, which actually right now it's more of an art museum because they're showing the 100 years of local California art, which was actually way cooler than I thought. They had like really, really cool pieces. And on this episode, I'll show you seven of them, the ones that stood out to me. Like I said, if you go to another art museum, like whatever stands out to you. But I'll talk about each seven and like what stood out to me, like maybe something interests you. I guess like the whole point is like trying to figure out like what you're interested in. Like sometimes when I ask people like, "Oh, like what do you like to do?" or like, "What are your hobbies?" people are like, "I don't know," because they never really thought about it. They just do what they're told. You go to school, you get a job, and then that's it. You have kids and then that's it. But I really want to go deeper and to really bring out what you're interested in because that's how you get to be happy. And I feel like that's the whole point of life. The point of life is to enjoy it. And if you are doing things that you don't want to do and that you hate, then are you really living? I don't think so. I think that you really need to find what you're interested in, and one way to do it is by going to museums and just walking around like, like, am I drawn over here? Am I drawn over there? Like, what excites me? And so that's what we're going to do. And then the next museum, and it's like a little baby mini museum because it was just so cool. Like I went to the Burbank YMCA to do yoga. And on my way out, I noticed they had like a whole wall of like the history of it. And so I thought that was super cool and I learned a lot, and it actually kind of aligned really well with ILA Institute. So I'm like, ooh, I gotta talk about that. And yeah, so we'll get into that one. And it's kind of like cool just to like find museums in unexpected places. And finally, I went to the Holocaust Museum in LA. And the reason for this was because a lot of people are equating what's happening now in America with Trump and then with ICE, with Latinos here in LA. They're equating it to what happened um, with the Jews in the Holocaust. And so I thought by going to this museum, I could dive deeper into that and see if there are similarities or the differences or like what it's about. So we'll get into that. And I know we're already like a couple minutes in, but don't worry, like the museum parts are, I think, like 6 minutes tops for all three. So it's like super quick. I just had a really long intro today since it is the first episode. But like moving forward, they're going to be way shorter. I really want to make them under 10 minutes. So like you could watch this or listen to this and have it be super quick. Like I want you to find what it is that you love and what you're interested in without taking more time. Like I know that you're busy. We're all busy. So it's like, how can we progress and learn something and be more educated? Because I feel like even like now, like what's happening with the Department of Education, like it's crumbling. And I feel like it's kind of a good thing. Like people are really scared about it, but it's a good thing because then it's like people like me who are ready here to like build it up. And the best way to do it is to do it organically, to do it organically, not to have to force you to sit in a classroom and to do all these dumb assignments for no reason. Everything that we do here is for a reason and is to lead us to self-actualization, which just means like ultimate fulfillment. It's just like being happy and to stop trying. I'm done trying. Like it's exhausting to try. I'm ready to just be and just allow my intuition, my curiosity, to my heart to lead the way. And I hope that you're ready for that too. So, without further ado, I'll quit blabbing and let's get into it. So, our first piece is made of fabric. It's a collage, and so if you look at it, you can see like how the artist cut it all up. So the question that I want to pose is, what could you cut up and make a masterpiece out of? The next one is, it looks like a photograph, right? But it's all colored pencil. And so I just love the attention to detail. And so the question is, what could you be more detailed with in life? So this is what I mean by just like learning through observing. This next one, from far away, it really does look like rocks. It's supposed to be of Laguna Beach. But then when you zoom in, you see they're just a bunch of lines. And then I thought it was so cool because here is the artist painting her granddaughter, and look, you see the image in the background. Like this is that same pictures. I thought it was so cool. This one really caught my eye because of all of the shapes. And it made me think about like, how can I start drawing with like more kind of shapes? Same with this one, like with the painting aspect of it, you kind of see like how the paint was layered. This one was so cool because it was like 3 rooms in one, and just like the attention to detail. So you can see like there are other like paintings within the painting, and I just thought it was so incredible. And so if anything sparks your interest, like it's an invitation to go deeper and to maybe even like see like the artist and like what else this person has done and all of that. So I have all the artists at the end of all of them. This one was really cool because of how the light is being reflected in the glass, and you could even like make like a whole science project out of it, like why does glass reflect light in that way? So you're probably wondering why At Home is here, and I'll let myself explain. Tell me why I'm walking around like as if it's like a art museum, but it's actually cool because I'm actually getting some pretty good tips. on how to paint the ocean. Let me show you. So again, like learning from everywhere, I was learning how to paint the sea, and here they showed so many different ways and like all the different colors and like in what order the colors need to be and how it all needs to come together. But unlike an art museum, I can actually touch it. That's amazing. Can you see the squiggles? So here's this wall that I was telling you about that's inside of the YMCA, and basically it shares that it started in London and it has helped so many people. It's put colleges together. It was the first integrated pool, and then now look at these logos. So it started with this triangle of mind, body, and spirit, of it coming together. This is the one that we probably grew up with if you're around my age, and this is the one that we have now, but you can see it still has that triangle. So it's still about bringing together the mind, body, and spirit, which is exactly what ILA Institute is about. But yeah, you could see there that they helped immigrants, they helped young kids learn how to swim. This is the location that I'm at right now of Burbank, and then their quote, we build strong kids, strong families, strong community. That's what you need for self-actualization. And so that's what I really took away from this little mini museum. So I made the mistake of going to the Grove over there, and look at all that construction. So if you're planning on going to the Holocaust Museum, park at the Pan Pacific Community Center Park and walk on down. So what I liked about this museum is that the second that you get there, they give you headphones and they put you on this audio tour. It's an app that you download, and each room, it starts off like 4,000 years ago. Like you can see the menorah there, and then it takes you through the different rooms until you get to the Holocaust. But look at Adolf Hitler's eyes. Like, he does not look happy, and it just like makes you think that this is probably why he did what he did, because if you're happy, you're not going to go out of your way to make other people miserable. But if you're miserable, you're going to make everyone else around you miserable. Like, look at these other perpetrators. None of them look happy. None of them have that glow or that joy in their eye. And like I mentioned at the beginning, that is the point of life, is to enjoy it. And so clearly they weren't, and that's why they did what they did. And then you see this guy, he did horrible experiments on kids, especially twins, and then he would just like kill them, or to put like chlorine in their hearts to make it stop. Like, it was just like horrible things. But what I did like about this museum is that it also shows like the positivity, and so these are the clothes of prisoners who escaped. And of course, you can't have a Holocaust museum without talking about Anne Frank, who is widely known for her diary. And so it just also goes to show, like, if you're being your authentic self, like, people will listen, even if you are not around to know that they listened. This was my favorite part of the museum because it showed all the people who helped Jews in some way. And so it just goes to show that you might not be able to go against the system, but if we band together as human beings and help each other on a one-to-one basis, like, that's how change really happens. That's how we save lives. And I think that that's like the whole point of it. And so looking at what's going on now, like with the immigrants, it's important that we help them, that we support them. If we see a taco truck on the side of the street, like, to go and to actually help. And then I love how they have this question of like, what can Angelenos do for the upcoming 2028 Olympics? Can we bring everybody together and really unify everybody from all over the world? And so the question is, like, what can you do individually to help out in any way that you can? Because I feel like sometimes in this world that really is broken, we feel that there's nothing that we can do. We're just one person. But if you're the one person that helps another one person, and everybody helps out one person, then that's how change can really occur. All right. right, and that's it for our first episode. If anything that you saw in any of the museums sparked something in you or made you want to go explore your own local museum or go to the same ones if you live here in LA, let me know in the comments. Like, I actually really want to hear from you. I'd love to know what you thought was interesting. I'd love to hear what you find in whatever museum that you're at. Or, like you saw, like, I was literally at an at home. Like, you can literally learn things anywhere. So yeah, if you want some more episodes like this, or if you want to learn more about your own intuition, like your own like intuition development, getting more of like your powers, like we have so many powers as humans that we just do not understand or realize. And I feel like that's kind of what ILA Institute's job is to do. Like I kind of see ILA Institute as being like the Hogwarts meeting Harvard kind of like coming together. Like that would be like the absolute dream to like be able to develop these gifts through our intuition. And in case I didn't mention it before, my dissertation is looking at how academics use their intuition to kind of show like that intuition isn't this like woo woo, like mystical, like unreal thing. Like there's actual like tangible evidence. And you can also listen to all of the ILA Institute, all of the ILA radio episodes that I've already have. I think I'm up to like episode 33 right now, where these people talk about their intuition and how real it is. So at first I thought I was all alone and I was like, am I crazy? Like I'm like getting these like senses being developed and I don't know if it's just me or like if other people do this, but like now that I do the show, um, it's not just me. A lot of people do it. And so it's not like spiritual woo, like it's actual like spiritual things that like our bodies can sense. And I really want to get more into that as we go. So if you have any questions that I could answer in like future episodes, I would love that. But yeah, just like moving through the world and learning, I feel like is the future of education. And I'm here to help foster that. For ILA Institute, like once it's accredited and stuff, I really wanted, like, I don't want there to be teachers, you know? Like, I really want it to be just like a tour guide. Like, I'm a guide, I'm here to help you learn about what you care about. So, like, this is like way future talking, but for the last 5 years, I've been developing this school. And I haven't got to like talk about it because you know like all those Instagram posts that are like, oh like don't tell anybody your dreams because either they'll steal them or they'll just like shit talk you. But like I'm done being scared, honestly. Like if you want to steal this idea, go for it, you know? Like I would love for there to be more intuition-led academics out there. Build your own school for sure, you know? Because no one's going to have ILA Institute the way that I've been developing it. You know, like I have this special lens where no one else can see the world the way I do. And so no one else can offer what I can. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you want it, take it. um yeah, so like I said, like I'm done being scared. Oh yeah, so the whole point is that eventually I want it to be like an actual school, like from the time you're 2 years old, where you're learning 4 languages when you're 2 years old. And like I have all of like the structure for it. So it's not just like, oh, this is just some idea. I'm being too idealistic. 'Cause that's what a lot of people say about me, that I'm too optimistic, too idealistic. Like, nah, bitch. I have all of the structure. I have everything planned out. It's just a matter of actually doing it now. And me being here on the first episode, I'm doing it. So, yeah, just thank you so much for being here and staying all the way here till the end. And I'm just so excited for the future of education. So, don't forget to subscribe. Go to the website, theornellian.com/ILA Institute. I'll try to put like a QR code or something right here so you can just do it if you're watching this on YouTube. Or if you're listening to this, you can just scroll down and look below for the link. Yeah, so I think that's all I got for you for this first episode. Again, thank you so much for being here. And tell me how you would improve education in the comments. Like, I want to take everybody's ideas and form like the best school that the world has ever seen. So, thanks again. Bye, everybody.